Hope you're having a good one. What's good? Wow, I seem to be having a problem with YouTube today, or YouTube is having a problem. This is a no bueno situation. Copy. It says I'm live, but I'm not seeing the video. Huh. That was really, really weird. Really, really weird. Yeah, I'm live now, but that was literally all I did was come out and go back into the stream. So that was strange. So now I got to ask. Now I have to do the poll again. Start the poll, and it was UBS, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, and other. If it's other, you know what to do. All right, so let's start again. Rick Richie, I know exactly what you're saying, young man. Take your little behind to the corner. I know exactly what you were saying. It was funny as hell, but I know. Smart Alec. What bank is holding crypto but is banning using their cards to pay for crypto, like to buy crypto? UBS, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, or other. If it's other, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. So I just went on this whole long diatribe. Anyway, so the EU is allowing USDC and USDT into their market. Because they loosen their stablecoin rules. But I want you to listen to what I said. USDC and USDT. You know how I tell you guys pay attention to what happens around the world, because what happens around the world affects us, and what we do affects the rest of the world. It's all one symbiotic organism in this tiny little marble we call Earth. Last time I checked, USDT is an algorithmic stablecoin, and USDC is a one-to-one backing with reserves. They're allowing both. That's the news. Not just they're easing up on stablecoins, but the fact that they're allowing algorithmic stablecoins. Oh, why is that important? Well, because the Genius Act basically thumbs its nose at USDT and says, no, you got to hold. You got to hold our treasuries. You got to hold U.S. treasuries or whatever in a one-to-one situation. Thusly saying we don't allow algorithmic stablecoins. What's up, Hutanik? What's going on? It doesn't matter that USDM was first. That's not the point, sir. It's not the point. The point is that they're easing their stablecoin rules and allowing USDT and USDC. Huh. Hutanik, you know I'm just messing with you. And both of you, have you invested in yourselves today? I know the answer, but I want people to actually see you guys doing it, because you guys have been here, a couple of the longest. So lead by example. So I find that to be funny, because when you look at the Genius Act says we don't like algorithmic stablecoins. It's basically what it says. You have to have a one-to-one backing of the US dollar. So that's why I look at this easing of rules with the EU as being special, somewhat special. Yeah, we know that already. We don't need you to deliver the news. We know this already. That's not the importance. The importance is USDT. That's the story. That's the story. Could care less about USDM, USDC, could care less. The fact that they've got both kinds, that they're giving the nod to both kinds, that is the story. I don't care about people's preferences. Oh, I like USDM, or I like USDC, or I like USDT. It's the fact that they're allowing algorithmic stablecoins, and the US is basically on schedule to not allow algorithmic stablecoins. Interesting, no? No, it's not the last part of the statement I missed. It's the first part of the statement that you made. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I wanted to say. I didn't miss jack. I could care less about what the first one was. I don't care. Don't care. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. And I believe we reported that a while ago. USDM. That's why I didn't care. Not that I don't care about USDM. But my thing was USDT in this case. Because USDT is an algorithmic stablecoin. That's the point of the story. You missed it. Where's Patient One? She's probably smacked both of us right now. Just saying. So I found that to be very interesting. Like I said, because the Genius Act basically just says we don't like algorithmic stablecoins. Go kick rocks. Even though I think Tether is the 19th largest holder of U.S. debt. I'm just saying. So if they've got $190 billion of U.S. debt, that doesn't compare to other countries that are pushing $1 trillion, right? But if Japan dropped $50 billion and it moved markets, it made headlines, that means that Tether could do the same damn thing, right? Right? Oh, I don't need a corner. I roll in a sphere, sir. I roll in a sphere. You. Rick Ritchie almost got sent to the corner because he had me cracking up at the beginning. So he almost caught it. But I was like, nah, it's probably what he wants. So I'm not going to give him what he wants. Because I'm a big baby. So yeah, I just found that to be very interesting, right? And I'm interested to see how it all plays out in the United States by saying we don't like algorithmic stablecoins. It's not like you're going to be able to kick out USDT. You can't buy everything with USDC. You can't buy everything with USDT. You need both. I think we need to understand what you are doing with stables. If you need it to use, you don't mean me, you mean what people in general. If you need it to use on a DEX or store dry powder, is a different need than on and off ramps. Yeah, you're not using stablecoins. Have nothing to do with on and off ramps in my tiny little pea brain. I have nothing to do with that, right? I don't need to dump to a stable coin to get to an off ramp. Almost any coin will get you there. So that doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, to flip into a stable, that's an extra step. If you're really looking for an off ramp, you're going to off ramp however it is you want to do it. But you're right. There's a difference between storing dry powder in a stable coin and I'm probably not going to store that much money in a stable coin. I'm going to do two things. Some money in a stable coin, some money in gold. Precious metals, my mattress. You know what I mean? I'm basically going to divvy up how I'm storing dry powder and for what reasons. Different use cases, different ways that I'm going to store that dry powder. And that's on the real. Did you miss any? To pay bills. It's starting to open up that you have. What's going on, Lex? And by the way, Rick Ritchie invested in himself because he's the man. And over the phone, because my internet went out for the day. Ooh, I'm sorry. I will not bother you today. You do not have to go in the corner. That's tough. Lex Luthor, have you invested in yourself today? But yeah, you're gonna be able to start paying your bills with stable coins. So instead of holding something in a bank where you're collecting nothing, I might be able to hold my money, hold my value in a stable coin, stake it, and then when I need to pay my bills, unstake, pay my bill. You know what I mean? I'm staking my stable coin is probably going to make me more money than saving my money in a financial institution, you know, those things called banks. Oh, snap, Captain Banana, what's up? No, I would not put bills under the on and off ramp category. Do not conflate the two. Do not make the mistake of conflating the two. Off ramping and on ramping has to do directly with fiat. Not the same as, oh, they will accept crypto for payments, specifically X stable coins. Don't conflate the two. They're two totally different things. They're similar, but that's not on ramping and off ramping. I told you the world is going to change. And it's going to come to a point where on ramping and off ramping is going to be like a Betamax. It's going to be like, oh yeah, remember that? Oh, tough times. Walking to school uphill both directions. I don't know what you mean by if you sold those services. We're talking about municipalities gearing up to accept stable coins for payment, and different businesses to accept stable coins as payments. That's not off ramping. That's not you taking whatever digital asset you have and flipping that into whatever fiat you belong to. Completely different. I don't care what anybody says. It's completely different, period. Textbook is going from whatever it is that you have in value to fiat. If it doesn't involve fiat, it is not on ramping and off ramping, period. I scooped a large bag of Link, seeing the MasterCard news. Yeah, I told you about that yesterday. I've been telling you about Link for a minute. I told you that there's basically nothing that's going to happen in traditional finance that's not somewhere, somehow going to be banh that's not going to involve Chainlink. I missed something. Hello, everybody. I have interest. You have invested in yourself. The maid is come and gone, and my delivered my lunch was divine. Gotta love some Captain Banana. Link is the bomb. Link is going to be everywhere. And so when you see me in the morning and I pull up the big board, I always mention Link. And I mentioned the last time I saw it, the last number that I saw it at. Scooping up Link at these prices, what is it at right now? Control F. There you go. It's at 1308. Hell yeah. What? Hell yeah, I'd pick up Link at 1308. Why? Because a 10% rise puts you at $1.31. I mean, at 14.31, when just a couple of weeks ago was at 17. Yeah, I'd pick up Link. I would absolutely pick up Link. Not a problem. And then when you look at it, you know, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, guess what? Have to consider your crypto wallets. What you have in your crypto wallets that are okayed by the US government. So like Coinbase, whatever. Something where they actually where they have to abide by some rules. That's the only time that you would, not me, but that's the only time that I would consider, okay, let me put my stuff on a regulated exchange, because then you can actually see it if you actually needed to do loans that way. That's huge. The other day they were talking about it. Today it's not. You got to do it. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. No, Lex, I am not holding that. Maybe somebody else is, but I am not. Link never properly blew up. No. I think Link blows up when you start seeing tokenization become ubiquitous, because all that stuff will be floating around, right? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I think that's when you start to see the value of Link pop up. And as you hear more deals, you'll start to see Link pop up. But I think people have forgotten the idea, the thought process behind connective tissue. The connective tissue of Web3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Optimism, Arbitrum, soon to be Cardano. Cardano is like a hair away from being part of that. Chainlink, of course, it's the world's largest oracle. So you can easily have, whatever other coin and Chainlink as a part of a given financial environment, because you might be using that one for settlements and using this one for RWA. It's that big. It's that big. And they're going to keep landing these bank deals because of their deal with Swift. Swift knows they have problems. They need to partner. They need to do something, because Swift is not going to matter soon. Banks are moving to crypto for settlements. That's a problem for Swift. That's a problem for Swift. And it's a problem for countries that want to, enact sanctions, like the United States, because they tell Swift, hey, you're going to do this, and Swift does that. And you don't have that kind of mechanism. I mean, you do, but you don't. You don't have that kind of mechanism with crypto. You do, because you can say, hey, I need you to do this. And, a lot of the cryptos will wind up being able to do that. And other cryptos will just be like, sucks to be you. So it's a problem. It's not a problem, but it's a problem that they have to solve. It's a problem for them. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Loan process crypto had to stay on a central exchange. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It had to be on a exchange that's regulated. That's what I meant. Regulated by the US, recognized as regulated by the US. So that leaves you all of the centralized exchanges. Or come on, I'm pretty sure one of you guys got it. Or one of the banks. Did we forget that banks are allowed to custody your crypto now? Aha. So yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that you could be doing. I think the rest of the cycle will end with blue chips blowing off high, sweeping out the bottom caps. You have to define bottom caps. Because I'm very specific when I say it. I don't describe it like that. I describe it as, and I don't think you're wrong. I'm just saying I describe it differently. I describe it as who's going to get hit first. I said it. Memes, NFTs. Anything without a true use case is going to get hammered. Hammered. Just like a ball peen hammer, just on the toe. Bam. Yeah. Yup. So just because they serve no purpose, right? What purpose do you serve? You're not doing anything. But I think you're going to wind up seeing, you'll have to look at the sectors at that point to be able to say, well, I can go by a big cap definition, but I could also go by, well, who's the leader in this space? Or who are the top 2 leaders in this space? As far as oracles go, you could say it's Chainlink and then Pyth. But could you really? I mean, is Pyth really? It's an oracle, right? Do they compare to Chainlink yet? Nope. But that's probably number 1 and number 2. But then you have to go over to D-pins. Well, who are your big bags of D-pins? And then you've got to, slice that one up as to what do you do in the D-pin space? And then you have AI. Well, what do you do? Are you part of the D-pin space? Or are you really doing some AI stuff? Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you would consider, so you break up the sectors and you say, well, who's the biggest in the sector? Because you're not going to compare Render to like Cardano, right? As an example. You're not going to compare FET to like XRP, right? But they're both, big players in their respective spaces. So you start to look at things slightly differently. And you realize, oh, wow. Oh, okay. Let me go take a look at that. Just saying. Just putting that out there for you. Something for you to think about. I don't like absolutes, because nothing is absolute. And I don't like, broad-based kind of statements. I like a little bit of specificity around what's being said, because small things make a difference. Small things make a difference. And, having the wrong definition in your head, even if it's off by a little bit, having that wrong definition in your head could lead to you making a mistake. That's why. So I heard somebody say prediction markets are in for the long haul. What do you think? Hold on. Got something for you. Oh, man, come on now. There you go. Kalshi secures a $185 million funding with a $1.2 billion valuation. Kalshi. Yeah. Polymarket is here to stay. Kalshi is here to stay. The gamification of everything is here to stay. The gambling of everything is here to stay. The betting on everything. Who's going to win the next mayoral race in New York City? Whose cat is fastest? Whose kid is cutest? You think I'm playing? I'm not. I'm not playing at all. Not in the slightest. So for me, am I happy with the gamification of everything? Not really. For those that are investing in those projects, okay, I guess they're happy. But for me, I'm not thrilled about that. Because there is a risk to investing. And you're by gamifying things, I feel like you're teaching people the wrong thing. You're teaching people how to gamble and what to gamble and why to gamble, all that good stuff, but it's gambling. Instead of doing your own research, knowing your exits and then entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately. People say investing is gambling. I don't. I say gambling is gambling. Gambling is gambling. Taking a risk is different. Taking a risk to me is different than gambling, right? Because the risk is, I think that Chainlink is easily a $25 package, right? That's how I look at Chainlink. I can easily see we hit 20. fairly recently. So yeah, to me, $25, not a problem. Right? That's taking a risk. That's why we have the GMB X factor, because we want to understand what I believe, for me, what the risk is. Right? That's what I'm looking for. Gambling is, well, what are the odds that blah, blah. No. I'm not teaching my kids that. That's the dumbest thing. Because then you're stuck on numbers. You're not actually doing your own research. You're thinking about odds. That's dumb. That'll get you in trouble. So do I think that there's a place for it? They're really not anything new. They've just built it into a successful business, but you've always been able to bet on just about anything. Cockfights, dogfights, boxing, anything, sports. You can bet on just about anything. I don't think I want to play that game with my value. What are the odds that little Jimmy gets this job? Let's listen in. Like, really? There comes a point. Oh, snap. Sean in the house. Have you invested in yourself, sir? It's less of a risk if you do your own research on investments. If you know how to read financial statements and what management is doing to push the company going onward and upward. I don't say forward, onward and upward. True. But the gamification is, what are the odds of X company achieving X amount within the next 2 months? You could say, in terms of the stock market, options trading is gambling. Right? You could honestly say that. Oh, dude, Rick Ritchie. Oh, my God. Thank you. Thank you for that. I was hoping one of you guys would do it. Yes, memes are freaking gambling. What do they bring to the table? That's why they will crash and burn before everybody else. They will be the canary in the coal. Actually, I don't know if they'll be the canary in the coal mine. But they will be the mine that's most on fire. When things go awry, memes will be the first, it'll be like lighting magnesium, white hot, and then poof, gone. Because you could say, look at NFTs. NFTs have lasted, right? They don't carry, most of them don't carry the value that they used to carry. But what do they have? Use. I like that NFT. I have it up on my wall every day. And I flip between the NFTs that I have. I think it's kind of cool. Oh, that's mine. That's Yuga Labs number 594. I got that one. Or it's used to get into a club. Identify yourself as a member of a club. Huh. Memes, though? Oh, man. Woof. Woof. That's scary. Now, some memes have gone through the trial by fire. I can name two. Off the bat, I can name two. Doge, Shiba Inu. They've been through the trial by fire and they've both passed. I'm not a fan of Doge. Everybody knows that. I'm not a fan of Doge. I'm a fan of, Shiba Inu. I have respect for Doge. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't respect it. Right? So, whatever. Yo, Lex, man, why you choosing violence, bro? Why are you choosing violence? Really? You, my friend, go to the corner. Killing me, man. Killing me. NFT will always have a place to replace baseball cards and etc. Replace, I don't know about replace, but they have a space, right? They have a space. I can use NFTs to certify a baseball card and give you access to more information as an idea. Some of them do that. So yeah, I think meme coins take a hit. Zima raised $57 million to develop confidential blockchain protocols. They're being seen as a unicorn. 57 mil. It's a British company. 57 mil. What? It's crazy. And for people like Hutanic, Coinbase expands wrapped tokens. Added a 1-to-1 backed wrapped Cardano and wrapped Litecoin. Yeah, that's news. I don't care what anybody says. That's news. Now, wrapped. You know how I feel about wrapped. I don't like wraps. I don't like bridging. I don't like any of that crap. I just never have. It's not that I'm a purist. It's a security thing. Remember a while ago, bridges were getting hacked left and right. So I'm not a big fan of bridges. Not hating on them. It's just how I feel about it. All of you have issues. All of you have issues. All of you have issues. Hutanic and Lex Luthor are absolutely loving the corner tonight. Loving the corner. Oh my God. They're cracking me up. They're literally just cracking me up. They really are. First person that made me giggle tonight was actually Rick Ritchie, though. He knows what he said. You guys can scroll up if you want to. He knows what he said. It was funny as hell. I can't even be mad. It was funny as hell. It really is. Yo, Lex Luthor, man. We got a show to do. Stop messing around. Bitfinex launches a 105 million pound tokenized equity. They introduced Titan 1, 5 million, and Titan 2, 100 million tokenized equity offerings regulated by Astana, targeting UK credit union debt, and litigation financing. Oh, wow. I hadn't even thought about that. Wow. Like I knew it existed. Like I know about litigation financing, but it hadn't dawned on me. Wow. That's interesting. Bitfinex has made a big move with this. Wow. SoFi is getting back into Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. Basically, they're doing it because why? Well, the U.S. regulations. Right? U.S. regulations. I have a light in that room that is hitting the pendant. It's bright as hell. I hope it keeps hitting you. It might be that one. I think it might be that one. That's where you're catching it. I don't care. Cry, baby, cry. Captain Banana, can you do me a favor? Just go in the corner and smack Lex Luthor and Hutanic right in the back of the head. Just nice and gentle. Not hard, nothing hard. No reason for concussions or anything, but yeah, do me that favor. Yeah, I've never had a gold grill. Rick Ritchie, right? Don't hate the bling. Don't hate the bling. Get your own. Get your own. What else is there? That $1.5 billion Bybit hack. A lot of it's been traced back to a Greek. I haven't found the name of the exchange, but it's been traced back to that Greek exchange. And to me, there's got to be a reason why they have not said the name of that exchange. Yeah. So 7.59% of that $1.5 billion hack has been laundered already. Gone. That's a lot of money. Oof. They could basically not launder the rest of it and still be happy with what they walked away with. That's big. That's big. But they're still able to trace 88.87% of the money that was stolen, the value that was stolen. Yo, why are you? It's Wednesday. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. That's why you people. It's hump day. You're over the hump, and that's why you're a little giddy today. That's where this is coming from. I understand. I see how it is. I see how it is. No. Got my 2 hoops. I'm good. I'm not gonna have diamonds in my ears. No. That's not gonna happen. I used to when I was younger. I had a diamond. Well, I had some stone in my ear, and my oldest son has a stone in his ear. I like my hoops. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll find something else that I like, but I really do like my hoops. Infinity hoops. They just keep going. That would freshen things up. Shut up. Tonight's question. Oh my God, you people, boy. Oh my God, I can't get through a single show. What the heck? What bank is holding crypto but refuses to allow their cards to pay for crypto? So far, we only have 8 votes. How the heck is it we have less than 10 votes on something like that? You've got to be kidding me. Less than 10 votes. It's between UBS, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, other. How the heck do we have... Squirrel's still up. What the heck? How is that? I need 2 more people to vote. I'm not playing. I'm serious. I need 2 more people to vote. Get up and vote. Somebody get up. Whoever hasn't voted and you're watching, you're listening, get up and vote. I give you information. I'm asking you for votes. Get up and take the poll. Yes. What's the purpose of an EFT? To be able to get in without having to go through the trouble of directly doing it. So you're doing it, through a proxy. That's all it is. But you're in it. So you're going to invest your bank's money, meaning your customer's money, in an EFT that's all about crypto, but you're not going to allow your customer to go buy crypto using their assets. Yo, Captain Man, are you serious? Thanks, D-Mac. Are you serious? Next thing you know, somebody will be up in there buying pizza or something. What the heck? Lex Luthor's got the beer. I mean, he's in Germany. He should have the damn beer. Like, that should be a given. And I don't mean cold ones either. I mean the good stuff. The heck is up with these people tonight, man? D-Mac, what are they doing? Are you watching this? Are you watching this? Insane. But yeah, but think about that. So as a financial institution, you have invested in crypto. Directly or indirectly, you have invested in crypto. But now you're not going to allow your customers to invest in crypto because it's too volatile. What? Excuse me? Like, explain that to me. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Explain that to me. How does that work in your head? How does that work in your head? Like, that doesn't even sound right. And you know what's really funny is the bank that I'm talking about is notorious for doing stuff like this. Notorious for kicking the tires but not actually doing anything. Yeah. They're notorious for it. Hypocrites. Yep. Sounds very German. Lex, you own the quarter tonight. Oh, man. I actually love it when you guys crack me up, especially when I've had a long day. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. Eastern Standard Time. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 8:42 now. I'm probably not going to go to bed till like 11. So, yeah. They are mad because they have to play catch up. But I really do look at that and I kind of say, what is going on with that? So it does make me stop and say, well, what else is this bank doing that they don't want their customers to know that they're doing? This is why I keep saying banks need to define what they bring to the table and why I should give them my money. Right? Like, why am I depositing my money? Because let me tell you something. Back to a previous conversation we were having about stablecoins. If I can pay my bills with stablecoins, screw a bank. No reason for me to hold my money in a bank, right? Screw a bank. And Lord help you if I can hold my money in a stablecoin and get staking. What? That makes centralized exchanges the new banks. That's what winds up happening. It makes centralized exchanges the new banks. Oh, and let's not get it twisted. If there are non-custodial wallets where I can own stable coins or own whatever coin and stake and pay my bills, the hell I need a bank for? What's the point? Screw a bank. Stitch is going nuts. Stitch is going nuts. Where's 8 Paws? I haven't seen 8 Paws in a minute. I see you are giving me a loan. May I see your collateral, please? Oh, you don't have it. But seriously, I mean, think about that. You can invest in crypto, but your customers can't. You can invest in a burgeoning market, but your customers can't. I can't trust that bank. I cannot trust that bank. Kraken is registering. We talked about it a little while ago. Kraken is moving their headquarters to Wyoming, but they're moving their headquarters to Wyoming. Why would you do that? Because Wyoming is all about your rights, just like Delaware. That's why you would do it. I can hide a lot of stuff in Wyoming. That's why you do it. Wyoming and Nevada are two of the best places to actually have your trusts. But I don't know that they're actually physically moving their headquarters to Wyoming. I think that's just where they're going to be domiciled. So we'll see how that works out. But remember, Kraken has to find protection, and Delaware is not necessarily the best place for them in terms of corporations go and all that good stuff. Wyoming is a great place. Wyoming is a great place. And I have to tell you, one of the reasons why I would think that they're going to move to Wyoming is because you can control your trusts in a different way and nobody would know about it. So what does that say about Kraken? Oh, we're going to work with those trusts. We'll even help you set them up. I think that's the next step. Clutch your pearls, people. Clutch your pearls. That's huge. That's huger than huge. Because the biggest thing that people think about is, somebody's having a little too much fun. You mean Palao? Capital Palau. Palao. I know what you meant. Just that your phone is probably giving you grief. Yeah, but you're not actually moving. You have to actually buy land there or rent land or something else like that to say you're moving to Palau. And you're not really moving to Palau, and it's not going to matter other than you have an address and you can do things with that address. But they still play nicely with the United States, so you're not going to avoid taxes. You're just going to be able to do more stuff. That's what people need to understand. We spoke about that a while ago, right? You remember I told you guys? Yeah, you remember. I am not ignoring you, Captain Banana. Nope. Sometimes I need to laugh. Nope, not talking about the stupidity of war. Can't go there. Just cannot. Because my fear is, I still believe that we're going to hit a fairly decent sized dip before we hit a fairly decent all-time high. I don't want it to be because of a war that didn't have to happen. It's not why I want it to happen. A cruise ship for a year. I would not go on. You know what? I've been watching too many studies. I don't think I want to do cruise ships because diseases pass on cruise ships a lot, and I don't want to. Nah. They don't check them the way they used to. So a cruise sounds good, but not really. Not for me. All right. So what bank is holding crypto but is banning card payments for crypto? UBS, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, other. Who said other? And if it's other, who, like, what is it? I haven't seen any others. Who said other? Nothing stops a recession next year. Nothing stops a recession next year. Let me give that some thought. I'm going to end the poll. We had 13 votes. UBS, 23%. Deutsche Bank, 15%. Barclays, 31%. Other, 31%. Yeah, it's freaking Barclays. It's freaking Barclays. They are notorious for kicking tires and never moving on things. So it does not surprise me. It doesn't shock me at all that they're going to say, do as I say, don't do as I do. It does not shock me at all with that crew. Right? Like why would I go with Barclays? What else are you doing? Because that's shady to me. That's shady. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I don't have any candy. What? Yeah, nah. That's not feeling Barclays. I am not. You're holding $137 million of IBIT, but I can't go buy some crypto with my freaking debit card. Barclays, what are you doing? EU banks say it all. I can't disagree with you. I really can't. I really can't. The ease that they debank you. Remember when Portugal and Spain were all about, crypto, and then all of a sudden they weren't? That was like 2 years ago we were talking about that. Like, what? Yeah. Digital nomads were there, and all of a sudden, they're living life, la, 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 la. And all of a sudden, oh, I've been debanked? Why? That's actually a big problem. I mean, it's not like they're holding your money. They say, get your money the hell out of here. Here's your money. Go away. That's literally what they're saying. And so you've got to figure out, okay, so where do I go now? And then other banks don't accept you because they were all on that bandwagon. So now you're sitting there with a pile of cash or whatever, or you have to transfer it back to your native land because, it's tough, which is exactly what you did not want. And they didn't let you offload it back into crypto so you could clear your head and figure out what you're going to do. No, they totally screwed people over. I keep telling you, banks need to redefine what a bank is, what they actually bring to the table. What value do they bring to the table to earn my business? To add my money to their assets under management. Assets under management? No, just deposits. Because they don't manage the money. Right? Goes into a big fat pool. They don't care about me as an individual unless I'm an investor with them. And that's when they care. But after that, they don't care. So yeah, nah. Barclays does not make me smile. That move right there, if they did nothing else, if they did nothing else, Barclays doesn't make me smile. And I will tell you, remember I told you to go watch The Big Short? Go watch that. Go watch that movie. Is it dead on? No. But is it dead on? Yup. Go watch that. I'm telling you, it tells you a lot. Rick Ritchie, what'd you think? What'd you think about it? And like I said, I know one of the numbers guys that was at Bear Stearns, that he was there. He was in the room. Our boys used to play football together. Cool dude. Cool dude. Humble beginnings. Wasn't born with a silver spoon. I mean, he wasn't born broke, but he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. His parents worked. Dad was like a dentist. You know what I mean? Just saying. But so Rick Ritchie, if you look at it and you pay attention to what's there, you start to say, well, who are the players? What are they doing? And you're like, holy freaking moly. It was The Big Short, and then Too Big to Fail is the other one that I want you to watch. Too Big to Fail is the other one I want you to watch. And the reason why I want you to watch those two movies is because those two movies are very specific to the decision making, the thinking process between the players that were there. I'm just saying, pay attention. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. I tell you guys that all the time. All the time. Go watch those two movies and you'll start to realize, holy moly, and now I understand why this guy is so adamant about it. I understand why he's so adamant about it. What was the movie you mentioned? I could not think of it. Yeah. It was The Big Short, and the other one, it was Too Big to Fail. Watch that one. That one right there will just send chills up your spine. It will send chills. When you sit back and you listen to how the United States is all this and and you watch that movie, you'll sit there and you'll go, whoa. Scary. Scary as hell. The Big Short is even more scary because The Big Short is a view of the level of creativity that greed brings. Yeah. It will rock your world. You'll understand why I'm so focused on the GMB3. I'm so focused on it. My kids too. This is why I have them so focused. It's because that is some scary stuff. When you're watching Too Big to Fail, you will see a CEO tank his bank because of ego. One man. And he didn't do it once. He did it twice. Ego. When you start to realize that a few people control everything and that ego can screw something up like that. Come on, it's been out for over a decade. Oh man, please stop it. I'm not crying for these people. Should have watched those movies when they first came out. Go watch the movies. I haven't given away that much. Go watch the movies. I mean, Rick Ritchie, you can't even be mad at me because the trailers for those movies say it all. The trailers give away more than I did. Who-Tanic? Yep, they gave 0 Fs. Zero Fs. And people still flock to the bank. Take my money. Hold my money for me. They don't even give you checks anymore. Remember that? You opened up your account. You felt really good because you got your checkbook. You felt like somebody when you came walking out of that bank. You felt like somebody. I got my, like, especially if you walked out and you just opened up a business account. You came out with that big black book with all your checks in it. You thought you, yeah. But when you see the underbelly, when you get up in there, oh man. The level of testosterone abounds. It's nuts. It's nuts. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I really do hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor. Hit the likes, tell your friends about us, get them to hit the likes, and let's really grow. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but this is season 2 of the Crypto Overflow, and this is episode number 102 of the second season. Kind of nice, right? Kind of nice. Then we have just a group of people that really drive this home, really represent the community well. All our bickering, all our joking, we each teach each other so much. And I love that. Thank you. Because I love to learn. We've gone from 11,777 over the past couple of weeks to 13,007 almost. 13,007 something. So 2,000 in the past couple of weeks. We're growing. We're growing. Anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Definitely thank you for your patience. And absolutely thank you for your trust. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the Crypto Daily. That's going to be the only show tomorrow because my son graduates tomorrow. So the rest of the day is all about my boy. All right. Everybody, have a good one.